over, and here is that push I was thinking might happen. There goes WhiteRa with 6 of his Zealots, and further rallied Zealots, so he's going to try again. Probably not going to go that well if these Spine Crawlers get up, but Zealots are going to aggressively push. Small front, Zergling's getting no surround, and they might get the Queen again. Zealots dancing around, so are the Zerglings. Zergling's got 1 Zealot finally, and the Spine Crawler is up, and WhiteRa Zealots are in a whole heap of trouble right now. Doing their best to get this Queen, at least that would make this worthwhile. Both of these Zealots go down. Will he get this Queen? Looks like he will not. The Queen is going to escape, and these Zealots are going to be surrounded by these Zerglings. They aren't Speedlings, but they certainly get the job done. They retreat nicely to have a last stand at a small choke point. They're going to get a few Zerglings and take them with them. Direction-wise, looks like no one's making any tech switches. There goes those probes. On to the new expansion. Tons of rallied probes. So WhiteRa really concerned about the macro play, but he's still rallying more Zealots to the front. Not really sure why he's being that aggressive. That's a lot of Lings and a lot of Spine Crawlers, so that Zealot accomplishes nothing. The Zerglings tear him apart. And a Hydralisk Den is down, and Metabolic Boost on the way for SLush, so we're going to see some Zerglings and Hydralisks. Good combination. He's going to try and push through the hole with these Lings, but there is a Photon Cannon and enough block of Zealot and Probe that he decides not to. Might have been worthwhile. He probably could have killed this Probe and gotten through, but he would have sustained a lot of casualties from this Photon Cannon in the meanwhile, and reinforcements from this gateway, and who knows how many gateways are up here. He decides to pull off, and there's now 3 Zealots, so this is a firm hold. But things looking pretty good for SLush at this point in time. He is nicely saturating both of his bases. He's now ahead in worker count. Got a good defense here with Zerglings and Spine Crawlers, and the imminent threat of new units, making it very, very hard for WhiteRa to push. Units lost. WhiteRa has lost a fair number more of units than his opponent. Those Zealots being torn apart by Zerglings, not doing well for WhiteRa. And he is getting an observer out to see what his opponent is doing. He's going to see those Hydralisks and this Infestation Pit possibly. So will we see Infestors or a Tech to Hive? Going to have to wait and see on that one as well. We do have Infestors, so Infestors probably going down for either Neural Parasite on Immortals, or just for the Sticky Goo, which the name of which is completely evading me right now, but I will remember it pretty soon. Fungal Growth, that's what it's called, on Zealots for good surrounds with Zerglings, so a pretty good combination there. And lots of Hydralisks for good range damage. It looks like SLush is planning to expand yet again. Probably a good idea. His opponent is pretty contained. The Zerg player should just take advantage of the fact that he has a stronger economy to get an even stronger economy. And there's that observer getting a look around. Soon he's going to see this tech. And there's that first Infestor. He's going to have some time to build up that energy, save up for a couple fungal growths. And so it just goes to show how old this particular matchup is. This is a very, very old match because Infestor here has infested Terran. Doesn't have that Fury spell, so old game, but still entertaining, I'm sure. WhiteRa is continuing to rally a pretty strong force. He's now operating off what looks like 6 gateways in total. And Scouting Overlord is going to be chased off by these sentries. And is SLush going to lay down this expansion? Looks like he's not in any hurry. Just massing those Hydralisks, massing those Zerglings, his opponent massing Tier 1 units, so most likely going to be a pretty big fight coming up in the next couple of minutes, probably 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll see who comes out on top. WhiteRa also now thinking to take down these rocks and expand. I'm wrong about that, it looks like. He is not planning to attack. There it is, he is attacking. And still, both players just macroing up. Finally, some upgrades coming for WhiteRa, getting extra weapon damage. Very, very useful for the Zealots. +1 damage makes them 2-shot Zerglings instead of 3. And there's that expansion from SLush. But WhiteRa pressing out over the creep, snipes that first tumor, has an observer, gets another. This is very, very helpful to cut down the Zerg's vision and slow down his speed. Moving some Spine Crawlers to the front for SLush. He's got lots of Hydralisks to fire down as people try and move up this ramp. Fungal Growth from this Infestor and lots of Lings who are just so powerful in general. He is in no hurry to press out. Got that expansion coming. WhiteRa prudently trying to flank around the side. Going to find this expansion. Is going to force the Zerg player to either run to defend this or let it go down. But he is moving out. There's the Lings. Tons of Hydralisks. This is going to be a pretty big fight. Equally sized armies. Nice force kills trapping those Hydralisks. And the Lings are getting torn apart. There's that Neural Parasite on one Immortal. Immortal's tearing apart all of the Stalkers. These Hydralisks getting to the front. More reinforcements being blocked, but almost all the Zealots have gone down, and it looks like that Neural Parasite and all of these Hydralisks enough to completely annihilate what's left of WhiteRa's forces. This WhiteRa being torn apart, there it goes. And WhiteRa reeling in retreat now, only playing off 2 bases, unable to stop his 3rd base, and his army just did not do well there. That was the potency of all those Hydralisks. Even though the force fields prevented the Hydralisks from getting to the front, it also prevented the Zealots from getting to the Hydralisks, and they were just, so many needles and Zealots. Another nice Neural Parasite taking out a 2nd Immortal instantly, and the Immortal turns and kills a Stalker. So Neural Parasite going very, very well for SLush. And mass Hydras moving in on the base. They're going to pick apart all these pylons. Both of these definitely going down. Let's see what reinforcements are coming in. A Spire is being placed. Good transition. Good decision to build a Spire. If this attack doesn't go especially well, you can try a new tech switch. And fungal growth on WhiteRa. WhiteRa's units are immobilized. This Hydras is just sniping all those Zealots. And it looks like this is going to be it for WhiteRa. He is pulling in more reinforcements, but not enough Zealots. Too many Hydralisks. And down go the rest of the Stalkers. What good are Immortals against pure Hydralisk? No armored units from the Surge player. And while he may push this attack back, no, he isn't. Warping in some more Stalkers, but it's too late. Reinforcing units moving across the map. This is going to be it for WhiteRa. Another Neural Parasite taking the Stalker this time, but why not? And these Hydralisks continue to skirmish with these warped-in Protoss units. But every moment that goes by, things get worse and worse for WhiteRa. The 3rd base is operating, and the probe might be effective in pushing things back, but no, they are torn down by the Hydralisks. More reinforcing and some Lings. And I suspect that is going to be the final hurrah from WhiteRa. Yes, there it is. Good game from WhiteRa, and SLush takes the game. The congrats, to me, suggests that SLush may have taken the series. Not sure. WhiteRa didn't really give us any information about these games, but that was a good one on Steps of War. Good entertaining match. Really shows the usefulness of the Zerglings. Early game, Zealots just too slow and cumbersome, and an unfortunate attack by WhiteRa there. Neural Parasite on his Immortals that turned around and killed his own Stalkers, and SLush takes the game. So good short match. Hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to check out my own YouTube channel at Max Starcraft. And until next time, I will have a new set of games from a new player. And who knows, maybe we'll have release and beta phase 2, and I'll bring you some tournament games. So be sure to tune in, and until then, have a good one.